Rohilala Mandela. In his words, it always seems impossible until it is done. And it looks like the Nigerian youths are talking about this protest. They want it done right now, fixed right away. In this unbearable hardship in the country today, we can listen to some of the voices.
Hello, Mr. President. Okay. In my country, we don't need a rice, we don't need a beans.
Yes, sir.
This is the first time a rich man be a president 1960.
Yes, sir.
You are a rich man.
Yes, sir.
You make us cry, we make you laugh.
Yes, sir.
In hope we choose you.
Yes, sir.
And in hope we will change you, inshallah.
Amen.
You make us cry, Mr. President. You are a rich man. You say you don't need any money. But life is too cost.
Yes,
nothing reduced in my country. Everything increase. We are dying. Poverty and hunger. We change you, inshallah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Cost of living. Nigerian security forces fired live ammunition and tear gas to break protests in major cities. Some Nigerian media outlets have reported that the death toll is feared to be higher at around 17, and that people have lost lives in major cities like the capital of Abuja and Kano. In Kano, the country's second largest city, protesters set fire to tires outside the state governor's office, and police responded with tear gas, forcing most of the demonstrators back. Protesters later ransacked and set a digital center of the Nigeria Communications Commission ablaze. They also raided a warehouse near the Kano governor's office, while police fired shots into the air to disperse the looters. A 24-hour curfew was later imposed in the city. Hundreds of protesters also demonstrated in Abuja, the commercial capital, Lagos, and several other cities. People chanted slogans against President Bola Tinubu, calling him a thief. Now, the mass demonstrations comprise mainly of young people demanding an end to poor governance in Nigeria. Inspired by similar rallies in Kenya, they mobilized the protest on social media.
True Nigerian spirit, the protesters on the street. Let's take a listen to what they have to say.
For point A to point B in this country today without not necessarily breaking your neck. The cost of transport had gone up. You cannot begin to nurse the idea of sending your words to the school in this country right now without not even have to think 100 times.
Nigerian officials had warned against attempts to replicate the violent demonstrations in Kenya, where at least 50 people were killed. While the protest anxiety prompted the Nigerian government, led by President Bola Tinubu, to offer multiple concessions ahead of the rallies. Nigerian lawmakers have passed a bill to double the minimum wage, and the state oil. Despite this, angry youth turned up in huge numbers. Security officials say the protests have been hijacked by criminals and insurgents.
The IMN members have hijacked this, they are part of this protest, and that is what we have noticed. That is why we are drawing the attention of the public, since that some bad elements are trying to hijack this protest.
President Tinubu had warned that the protests would lead to anarchy and said the military would intervene to avert a crisis. Protesters have vowed their rallies will continue in the coming days. Africa's most populous country is struggling with soaring inflation of over 34% and a sharply devalued naira. The prices spiked after President Tinubu ended a costly fuel subsidy and liberalized the currency more than a year ago. Many protesters say they are battling hunger and poverty due to the price rise.
Nothing is actually working in Nigeria anymore. Even as an health worker, I can't fend for my family very well. I can't provide most of the basic needs of my family. Not because I am not hardworking, but because the economy is so bad that money has no value again. When we go to the market, you spend the whole of your salary and even borrow more. So nothing.
Thousands of Nigerians take to the street protesting the escalating cost of living and demanding better governance. Reportedly, 17 persons have been killed, especially in Kaduna State. In Nigeria, the wave of protests against severe economic hardship has taken a tragic turn. says injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. In the words of the social crusader, one of the greatest revolutionaries of all time, Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "If we keep silence for the things that matters, we will be oppressed for the things that does not." These mass demonstrations are dominantly led by young people, inspired by similar movements in Kenya. They have harnessed the power of social media, rallying under the hashtag "End Bad Government" in Nigeria. The question now looms: can Nigeria quell this violence, or is it the country on the brink of further chaos? It's a question begging for answer. As yet, the president has not even said a word. On day 3, opening on day 4 of the protests, Nigeria faces a daunting economic crisis with inflation carrying over 34% of the national currency, Naira losing significant value. What a shame. Protests reflect the urgent demand for solutions and a call for an end to the systematic issues plaguing the nations. Lots of the protesters have taken to the street to air out their voices and vent their angers. Let's take a listen to some of them.
They are buying private jets and people are staying under the bridge. If the vice president says that those protesting for their rights, for their life, for their survival are idiots, then the vice president is an idiot. Yes. If he has the powers to call us citizens, not refugees, he looked at us and tell us that we are idiots, then the vice president is an idiot. Because they are building presidential villa for you, we don't have places to stay. Have you seen the amount for house rents? You cannot pay house rents in Lagos. 10 people inside one room. People are suffering. People are hungry. And Ababio, the senior president.
Dire economic conditions are fueling a sense of desperation and urgency among Nigerians. With inflation rising, cost of living, food prices, food commodities is nothing to write home about. How can the average man in a society of this sort live and survive, where over 60% of the population are living below
the unfortunate Senate president is telling us that he will be in the house eating while we are protesting. If we don't ask him, we will ask his children. Our children will ask his children what he has done to us. You are approving budgets of billions upon billions. You are buying jets for the president, and people cannot afford transport fare. That is wickedness. And you still say they should not protest. Wow! Who protests?
Day 1 of the proposed 10 days.
And there will be day 2. There will be day 3. There will be day 4. And if care is not taken, it will be there forever till we get our results.
Thank you very much. I'd like to see what's written on your shirt. Police do not attack protesters. Your children are involved.
That is what
your
the president
lives
said.
are involved. Your children's future lie here. And this is
from the president that the police should not attack protesters, that their lives are involved, their children's lives are involved. To be sincere, the president has been lenient in trying to converse with us, and he's been trying to give directive. We don't know what he's doing behind though, but the one when we then see and say is send me they no attack us. So we are wearing it as a reminder to the police. As you can see, they are even looking more hungry than us. We don't know put vest on our face.
Are you not apprehensive that there could be a reoccurrence of the NSAS protest, talking about the way it ended, given the presence of the military men here and the other security personnel here?
That they will shoot at us? Share their life would they live like this? We don't die, we die alive. They will shoot at us. We kill people that died at the Lekki toll gate. Are we better than them? We are not better than them. I'm not scared. Yes, I'm not scared. We are not even alive. We are not alive with the live. I know kerosene there inside my bag. If they shoot tear gas, I get kerosene. If they shoot going, don't let me escape. I don't already tell my mama where they go, and I don't tell them bye bye. Thank you very much.
Aiming at protesters intentionally, you see that this is what they have all planned out. They didn't want us to protest. How can you beat a baby and then expect them to cry? What a nation. The international communities are watching. The government response to the cities, the government's response to the crisis will be crucial in determining whether Nigeria can stabilize or spiral into a deeper turmoil. The youths are at the forefront of this protest. The bravery is commendable. The audacity is highly recommended. For a time like this, to stoop to conquer. This is why we have to look into ourselves and say, are we ready to die in hunger or to die fighting and die for something? These are the demands of Nigerians which are to be met.
Protesters, and they were having some engagement. The same thing like the chief of defense staff just some few minutes ago, that's 15 minutes ago, and a press conference with the media where he briefed the media that the military is on standby in case the situation gets.
We are not asking too much. We're asking to end bad government, implement policies and practices that ensure transparency, accountability. We are asking for effective leadership in all levels of government. We are asking for economic reforms, address the scaring inflation and devaluation of the naira to stabilize the economy and reduce the cost of living. We are asking for you to revert to the pre-May 29 removal of subsidy. Put the subsidy and Nigerians will live and survive. We have been pushed and we have been adjusting to sufferings. This cannot continue. We are asking for job creation, develop human capacity, implement programs to create jobs, particularly for the youth, to combat unemployment and underemployment. Anti-corruption measures, put it in place. These are the things Nigerians are asking. Strengthen the anti-corruption laws and enforcement to tactically handle systemic corruptions and ensure that public resources are used for the benefits of all the citizens. We are asking you to improve security. That is what the youths are saying. That is what Nigerians are saying. Reform the security forces to protect the citizens' rights and ensure safety without resorting to violence against peaceful protesters. These are what we need. We're not asking for too much. We're asking for better health and education, to increase the funding and the support of health education in Nigeria, to improve the access and the quality of Nigerians. That is what we are asking. We seek that. It is the dividends of democracy. It is our right to seek it. Public demanding that very checks and balance. We're demanding what it takes to be a nation. Infrastructural development. Invest in critical infrastructures such as roads, electricity, and water supply, to boost the overall standards of living. This is what other nations are doing everywhere. Even in Africa, it is not too much. We're asking for social welfare programs, for you to implement social welfare programs to support the vulnerable amongst us. and those that are living below poverty mark. They
the
are
root
way
cause of
too
this
much,
problem is the high
beyond
inflation, which was
80% now.
ushered in by the
We're
removal
asking
of
for electoral
fuel
reform.
subsidy that
These
was
are the
done
things
in
we
May
are asking.
29, 2023,
Get
which was
us
last year.
back to
And
the
the
good
increment
days
in fuel
where we used to
fuel
be
from
the
165
giants of
to
Africa.
240
These things are not
by
too much.
July, it
Only a
increased to
wicked
600
leader, only
July of last year.
wickedness can
And
make
this
this
also
happen.
followed by
And
the
then tell me,
floating of the
what are
naira.
the people
And these things were done
at the
without
National
adequate
Assembly
measures
doing?
of
They are
safeguards. And that
after
was the
their
problem.
pockets.
There were no
Look at the
cushioning
amount of money that
set
they're
aside for
sharing.
it.
Look
And
at
so these
what
are the things. So
somebody's
it's not
calling
what
out.
government has offered by increasing the labor salary. How many Nigerians are in the in the workforce of the government? Because most of these increments, Nigerians want. How do food prices come down?
Yeah.
How does electricity tariff come down? So these are the things the government should be looking at and stop these cosmetic approaches they are using.
Even those who have been paid to stop protesters are the ones themselves turning to protest, because deep within them, hunger will definitely tell. And listen to them. Just take a listen to what they are saying and how they are turning their back on those who pay them to stop protesters.
No more protests! No more protests! No protest! And he has said he has to do. So we believe make I come down, but 2 days I never chop, for 2 days I never chop, no protest. No more protest. There is 2,000 now. For Gary cost. Sugar 200. 1 cup. How much we Gary now? Gary 1.5. Now why one? Now why one? We are not protesting. We need peace in the country. But I need 4,000. And with 3 children. But I say no protest now. No protest now.